Hello there and welcome to this Staffs Live Sports Night. I'm Charlie Malem and tonight we've got live coverage of 2 Champions League last 16 second legs and a whole host of Football League action, including a full Championship fixture list. The action is already well underway, so let's catch up on it. We've got Rory Daly watching over Arsenal's clash with Bayern Munich, while Isaiah Gardner is covering Real Madrid's trip to Napoli. We've also got Bradley Parker keeping an eye on the Football League. So we'll start with you, Rory. Arsenal need 4 goals without reply to progress to the next round. How are they getting on so far?
Well, they've got 1 back at the moment. They could have had 2 more. Walcott got the first one in 20 minutes. He blasted the ball beyond Neuer, who really should have saved it. He had another from a similar position, and Hummels intercepted and made a block on it. And we also had a penalty claim then as well, where Alonso looked to have brought down Walcott. It didn't look decisive from the referee's angle, I guess, but from the behind the goal angle, it really should have been given. You could see that there was clear contact between Alonso and Walcott, and they could have had 3 back there if Walcott took his previous chance as well. So Arsenal have it all to do yet, but there's still time left for them.
They've been eliminated in the first knockout round in the last 6 seasons. What chances of that changing today?
Well, at the moment, Bayern are having a bit of possession as well, and they're having a few chances too. I can't really see them getting 3 more goals, though. I could see them maybe getting 1 more, but as the game progresses, they're going to have to leave themselves more exposed at the back, and you can see Bayern getting more chances and getting a goal as well, and they can see them killing off the tie then.
We'll hop over to you, Isaiah, watching Napoli, Real Madrid. How are they getting on so far?
Well, Madrid have started very slowly, as they have in recent weeks in La Liga, actually. So I think the half-time team talk from Zidane would have been something like, wake up everybody right now. It's been a slow start. Napoli have been dominating, had twice as many shots in the first 45 minutes. And they took the lead 24 minutes in through Dries Mertens, who's their top scorer. Marek Hamsik has been putting the strings for Napoli. He's been key and important to everything good behind Napoli in the final third. With Real Madrid have had 1 or 2 chances. We've had Ronaldo hitting the post, and that's pretty much it. But they really do need to wake up in the second half.
They've been lacklustre quite a bit of late. Can you see him coming back into the game again on the score sheet?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's Real Madrid, and when you look at their front line and Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale, the talent just runs for the squad. So I think I do believe they will be on the score sheet today.
We've also got a full Championship fixture schedule. We've just come into the second half in most of those games. How are we getting on so far, Brad, in what are the big stories?
Well, it's the busiest end of the season now on both ends of the table, and most of the goals that matter are coming at the bottom of the division. Wigan are currently beating Birmingham City away 1-0 thanks to a Dan Burn goal, which leaves them just 2 points able to get out the relegation zone. Bristol City have dropped in because they're losing to Norwich at home 1-0 thanks to Brentford are also beating Forest, which sort of puts them back into a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Burton currently actually drawing away at Sheffield Wednesday 1-1.
Not bad for them.
Which is a decent result for them.
Definitely. Of those Championship games, we have got Tom Heslop out at Birmingham, watching Birmingham against Wigan. Let's go to St Andrews now. How are they getting on, Tom?
Hi guys, we've got it's been an eventful half here. Birmingham City were booed off by their fans, yes, booed off after an awful first half. Wigan are leading. Dan Burn, a former loanee at Birmingham City, glanced the header in the 19th minute to make it 1-0 to Wigan, and they have been fantastic. They don't look like they are second bottom in the league. They have walked all over the home side. There was a sub for the visitors. Perkins came on for Max Power, who had to limp off injured. That's all here.
Of course, Birmingham have won just 2 of 16 games under Gianfranco Zola, scoring 13 goals in 16 games, which is not too great. We've also got action in League One, where Sheffield United are 1-0 down away to Oxford United. Sheffield United obviously top of the league. And then in League Two, we've also got Blackpool 2-0 down at Plymouth. Let's go back over to Rory. The second half just getting underway. Any changes at half-time?
It's just got underway. There's been no change at half-time at the moment, and we're just seeing Arsenal in possession, and they're moving the ball about and not really going anywhere at the moment. They're taking it forward and they're going from side to side. They're just inside the box here now, and Bayern are defending well. It seems like Bayern are just going to sit back now in the second half and wait to counter-attack, and whenever they do, you'd expect them to be lethal and pick Arsenal off then.
Mesut Ozil is on the bench. Could you see him coming on and changing the game at all?
At the moment, it doesn't really seem like they need a player like Ozil. They need to maybe need to get the ball up to Giroud more. In the first half, they did that, and Giroud hit the post. And they had a good chance as well. It's just a ball coming in here now. Oh, Giroud's just put it over the bar there from another good cross. See, the crosses, they need to get crosses into the box to Giroud, who's causing the problems, and then they can start playing the ball out wide and get Sanchez involved and Walcott too. That's where their main threat's going to be going forward.
It's half-time at Reading Newcastle, 0-0. That's a later kick-off in the Championship. Brad, do you think if Newcastle get a positive result for that, it's over in the title race?
You never know in the Championship, to be honest, but you'd probably back Newcastle if they can get a result here. Reading are the best home team in the division, but Newcastle are the best away. So something's got to give. Yeah. I can see it being a draw, though, to be honest.
Fair enough. We'll go back over to Isaiah as well. Second half just getting underway in Napoli.
Yep, early stages here we've had a chance for Benzema. Marcelo stepping inside the Napoli half and picking up Benzema with a fantastic pass with the outside of his boot. Benzema staying on side and fired his shot wide, but early stages here.
Madrid have lost only one of their last 9 away games in the Champions League. What chances are they of pulling it back?
Well, I'm not sure the final result. We're not sure, but the 3 away goals that the 3-1 at home, and if Real Madrid are to score an away goal, which you would imagine, you would think that they'll find a way of going through.
Half-time in all the League One games still the same scorelines in League Two as well. No updates as of yet. There's not been a great deal of goals in the Championship. Only 8 in 12 games so far, Brad. Pretty boring, isn't it?
Especially Ipswich versus Wolves, which probably does win the award for the most boring game of the day. Which isn't a surprise, because the last 4 games between the sides have been draws. And Mick McCarthy will not want to lose against his old club. No,
he certainly won't. And then we've also got any other surprise score. Leeds winning away at Fulham. That's a good result for them. Any hope of them returning to the Premier League finally this year?
I'd say they're definitely in the playoffs at least, Leeds. They've got the top goal scorer in Chris Wood. They look very solid at the back with Pontus Jansson and Carl Bartley. I'd probably back them to go up, and as you said, that Brighton have scored at Rotherham.
Excellent. Any news on the goal scorer?
Not just yet.
Not quite a surprise that Brighton have scored at Rotherham.
Rotherham Knockaert. Anthony Knockaert.
Rotherham by far at the bottom of the league, and it's almost inevitable now that they'll get relegated, isn't it, really?
They've been relegated since Christmas, really. They haven't even hired a new manager. They just keep the guy in charge who, after every press conference, or just says, I don't want the job. So that probably tells you the situation. What
about Brighton as well? Because they've lost in the playoff semi-finals in 3 of the last 4 seasons. It's quite remarkable, really. But they're only a few points off of Newcastle on top of the league. Any chance of them sealing that automatic playoff spot?
I think they will seal it.
Promotion spot, sorry. Not playoff.
I think they will seal it. They're very strong at the back. But more importantly, they've got 3 threats mainly going forward with Anthony Knockaert, Glenn Murray and Sam Baldock. And Knockaert probably is in with a shout of Player of the Year in the Championship, I'd say.
Do you think he's competing with Chris Wood, Dwight Gale, those type of players?
Yeah, he really does make a difference to that side. He's got a lot of magic with him.
As we speak, we've also had a few other goals. Blackpool have just made it 3-0 up away at Plymouth. Jordan Flores on the 62nd minute. So that game, Plymouth looking unlikely to get anything out of that one now. And there's also been another goal in the Championship. Derby County are 1-0 up at home to Preston North End. Matej Vidra in the 50th minute. Let's go back to the Champions League though. Arsenal, are they getting any closer to pulling it back?
Well, a couple of minutes ago there, Bayern Munich just had a goal ruled offside. Free kick was just whipped in, and Hummels just at the back post then ran just a yard or two too soon, and he put it into the net. It was offside, clearly offside. Bayern Munich are just on the attack here again, and they're causing all sorts of problems for Arsenal. They're running ragged around the midfield. They don't seem to have any real control in midfield at the moment, and Thiago Alcantara is having a fantastic game so far once again, and he's pulling the strings for them. Alaba just whips across. into the box, which just goes over everyone's head. It doesn't really seem like Arsenal have started the second half in the best fashion at all, and they really need to pick it up here if they're going to get anywhere.
It's that man again,
Isaiah?
Sergio Ramos with the header.
1-1.
Yeah, 52nd minute. It's a corner delivered in from Tony Cruz. Ramos got up well, timed his leap well, and it's headed in 1-1.
Scores a lot of goals for a centre-back, doesn't he, Sergio Ramos?
Yes, he does. He certainly does.
Look, go back to Rory.
And there's been a penalty here.
Is there?
Lauren Koscielny's just brought down Lewandowski inside the box. Lewandowski's only scored 4 goals in 12 away games, and he hasn't scored in many away games. The previous was a brace against PSV, and before that it was Dynamo Zagreb 2 years ago. Lauren Koscielny was booked for a yellow card, and he's just been shown a second yellow card, and he's actually been sent off.
Arsenal down to 10 men.
Arsenal are down to 10 men here. Remarkable. Everyone's in front of the referee, the official behind the goal. It's all kicking off here at the moment.
Before that penalty's taken, then let's just have a quick word. Do you think that's Arsenal's chances over now if they concede that?
If the penalty goes in, that has to be it over. And then there was fan protests before the game as well. 59,000 tickets sold, but not everyone took their seats. Fans really are getting beyond sick of Wenger, and the rest of the board everything is just going and falling apart for Arsenal once again. In March, it's the same every single year.
Any news on who's stepping up to take that penalty?
No news at the moment. It's just Koscielny's just walking off the pitch, and Wenger's doing his usual arms out, complaining to the fourth official, wondering what's going on. It seems like Lewandowski is just stepping up to take it now. He's just waiting for the referee's whistle to take it. This will be his 5th goal in the in all his last 13 away games, and it will be his 7th of the season in the Champions League. Lewandowski's just waiting on the referee now.
He's taking his time, isn't he?
He is taking his time, and he steps up, and he stutter steps, and he puts it to the right hand side of Ospina, and that's it. Tie over. It's game over for Arsenal. 6-2 in aggregate, 1-1 on the night.
Just a reminder for those at home then, Arsenal will need to win 6-1 if they're to go through, which is quite unlikely. Bayern looking strong then now, Rory?
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance of any comeback here now. You can really see Arsenal maybe getting 1 goal, but it really isn't going to make any difference at this stage in the tie. It was dead after the first leg, really. Their performance away from home again has let them down in the Champions League, and it'll be their 7th consecutive exit at the last 16 stage.
Quite incredibly, Bayern have only lost 3 of 35 games in all competitions this season, and they haven't lost by more than a single goal once. They've lost 1-0 twice and 3-2 once. But so would you say they're looking likely to go on and win that one now?
They'll definitely go on and win this one. It seems like they could go all the way, but then whenever they come up against the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona, you wonder how they'll do. Because under Ancelotti, they haven't been the same force they were under Guardiola. The Arsenal, Bayern Munich are just tearing Arsenal apart here, winning back possession straight from the kickoff. It's an abysmal night for Arsenal at the Arsenal Stadium here.
We've also got Lewis Richards at Macclesfield Town. They're playing Dulwich Hamlet in the FA Trophy. Lewis, any action to report?
Hi guys, yes, it's Macclesfield Town 2, Dulwich Hamlet 0 here. Excellent first half by the Siltmen themselves. Reece Brown brace within 2 minutes of each other in the 34th, 36th minute. The first one was unbelievable, running down the right hand side, cuts inside on his left, goes all the way to the edge of the 18-yard area and fires one into the top right hand corner. The second one very similar, comes in on the left, cuts inside and goes into the far corner of the post. But Macclesfield looking very impressive here, and even in the first leg they were 2-0 up, so it's not all over for Dulwich Hamlet yet. They've had a few chances in the first half. Luke Summerfield's just hit the post in the second half, so it's definitely not all over here. And Dulwich, they're still in the game at the moment, though. It's at the Moss Road, still Macclesfield 2, Dulwich Hamlet 0.
Portsmouth looking likely of booking a clash with Tranmere at home in the next round then. A few goals in the Football League to report. Portsmouth have just scored away at Crawley Town. Portsmouth looking to bounce back from their defeat to Crewe Alexandria at the weekend. Christian Burgess in the 54th minute has put them ahead. Brad, let's go back to you. Anything more to report on? It's half-time at Reading and Newcastle still, but we're approaching the hour mark in a lot of the Championship fixtures. Anything happening?
Nothing new's happened. Leeds are beating Fulham away, which might end Fulham's chances of trying to catch Sheffield Wednesday in to get 6th place. But that's about it, to be honest, really.
Go back to Isaiah at Napoli. Anything more happening since?
Well, Alan's just been booked for a collision with Casemiro, a little coming together. And immediately after, Marco Roque has come on and replaced Alan. And I assume if Napoli have any chance of wanting to get through, they can't afford to go down to 10 men. So I'd assume that's the reason behind that substitution. So
we'll go back to Tom at Birmingham. Tom, what's happening?
We've had a massive impact change from Gianfranco Zola, who reacted to the chorus of boos from the Birmingham City fans at half-time. There's a double change. Michael Kiftabalda and Josh Dacres-Cogley have both gone off. Top goal scorer Lukas Djukovic and January signing Kerim Fry have come on. Kerim Fry is looking fantastic. As I said, he's just bursting forward. He's feeding it to Djukovic, who's trying to find Keita, but nothing's coming of it at the moment. Wigan are still winning 1-0.
Let's go back to Real Madrid because there's been another goal, Isaiah.
Yes, and it's that man again, Sergio Ramos. Another Toni Kroos free kick. Ramos is up, he's beat Koulibaly in the air and he's took a slight deflection and beat Reina. Napoli probably have no chance of going through now, but Real Madrid are a very dangerous side from set pieces when you look at their front line: Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo, Sergio Ramos and Pepe. It's a big squad. And when you look at the quality and the technicians within that squad, Kroos, James, who isn't playing, but Bale as well, they can all whip in a very good free kick and corner.
Sergio Ramos on a hat-trick now, any chance?
Well, you never know with Sergio Ramos, he'll be wanting it, he'll be up there for set pieces, anything in and around that box. Sergio Ramos will be looking to get himself up the pitch and maybe get the hat-trick.
Brad, the last time we left you, as soon as you finished talking, what's happened?
Brentford have doubled their lead away at Forest. It's that man, Lasse Vibe again. There's another counter-attack. So it looks like Brentford have got their tactics spot on today. He goes straight through and then chips the goalkeeper. Very cool.
What's the story with Brentford then? Because they beat Brighton 3-0 at the weekend. Now they're losing 2-0 at home to Brentford. What's going on?
They're just a topsy-turvy team, to be honest. They have been all season. They'll either score 3 or then concede 4 the next game. They've got no consistency, which probably explains why they're down there at the bottom of the table. And a lot of managers have changed hands this season.
We've also had another goal in the Football League. Sheffield United are 1-1. Billy Sharp with another goal. He's almost single-handedly firing their promotion push. Looks like they are a good bet to go on and win the league title this season. Rory, we'll head over back to you at watching Arsenal Bayern. Anything more happening since that penalty?
Oxlade-Chamberlain's just got a booking there. He was racing through the Bayern defence, and he just loses the ball slightly. Then he runs past Rafinha and he tries to get away from Martinez. He just gets the ball nicked by Rafinha and then he clips him and he gets a booking, then a silly booking, and he's not happy at all. It really speaks volumes about the frustration in this Arsenal team at the moment. There really is nothing happening for them. You're looking ahead then to the game this weekend and you're wondering, can Lincoln do it then? You're thinking, can Lincoln do it? You really think they could do it? Because at the moment, this Arsenal team really aren't performing, and the fans tonight aren't showing up. Just imagine what it's going to be like at the weekend. They're going to have a horrid atmosphere, and they're going to have to try and beat a team who have nothing to lose. You really have to feel for Arsenal and Arsene Wenger at the moment. It's really, really bad times at the club.
Obviously, the FA Cup, the only silverware that Arsenal can go on and win this season. Arsene Wenger's in real trouble. It looks he's got a 2-year contract on the table, but he hasn't signed it. Do you think it would be right for him to step away from the club in the summer?
I think it's curtains for Arsene Wenger this summer. It's just been a consistency of last 16, 4th place in the Premier League last season. They got 2nd, but it's been a consistent where they've not improved, and fans have called for the team to improve year after year, and he's not been able to get players in. They've not been able to improve the squad, and the squad's just always mentally weak. There's just always been that problem that they're mentally weak. You look at the Chelsea side, they're always mentally strong and they're always challenging for the title. Manchester City are up and down, but Arsenal are always just there, but they're always one step off that next level. And I think in order for them to progress at this stage, they do need a managerial change. Martinez has just hit the roof of the net there from a header. It was almost 2-1. It just, you would have seen, it just would have been a fire exit there, really. Arsenal fans would have been leaving if it had gone 2-1 down. It's inches away from, just goes over the bar. Petr Cech, or Spina actually, sorry. Spina's just watched it go over the bar. You really can't see anything for Arsenal happening here. It's really all Bayern at the moment.
Let's talk about Alexis Sanchez then, because he was dropped at the weekend, obviously quite controversially. That cost them, but you could say that cost them the game, really, because they only really turned up against Liverpool when he came on. He's been vital for Arsenal. He scored 34 goals. He's been involved in 34 goals in his last 33 games with 20 goals and 14 assists. It looks increasingly like he might be leaving this summer. How big a blow would that be?
It would be a massive blow for them, because they're a side that they don't have, like, the previous sides, Arsenal of old, the team that went invincible, they had the leaders, they had the winning mentality, they had players that wanted to go and win it. You look at this Arsenal team currently, and you really have to say that Sanchez is the only one, maybe one or two others at times who want it, but Sanchez is always there. And I feel like that boiled over to the point where he probably, the reports are that he lashed out in training to a senior pro, and it boiled over into the dressing room then. And Wenger took the right decision dropping him, but he didn't go far enough to drop him. He put him on the bench and then take him on, so it makes him look weak. He knows where his strengths are in the team, and that's Sanchez, but at the same time he's trying to lay down a marker, and it really has backfired on him. And it speaks volumes about the current squad at the moment. There's just no leaders in this team whatsoever.
Let's go back to the Championship. There's a bit of a dearth of goals. Not a goalless in Huddersfield, Aston Villa, goalless in Ipswich, Wolves, and then a lot of 1-0s as well. Brad, what does this mean for a lot of the teams in the table?
For the bottom teams, at the minute, for Blackburn it's not looking that great. Not for Bristol City especially, because they've actually dropped into the bottom three. Wolves away Ipswich, Wolves have lost the last 6 in all competitions, so I think they'd take a point, to be honest with you, away at there.
And we've also got England women in action this evening. They're playing Germany in the final game of the She Believes Cup. Our reporter Jack Bradley is watching that one. Jack, anything happening in the early stages?
There's not a great deal happening so far, Charlie. England have dominated most of the ball. They've had a fair bit of possession and they're moving the ball quick in the midfield. However, they're yet to find that breakthrough. Every time they get anywhere near the Germany box, they're playing a 4-4-2, they're sitting deep, they're dropping deep, and they're making it very difficult for England to craft chances. It's led to a couple of corners, but we haven't been able to make any use of them so far. It's still 0-0 here.
Isaiah, we'll come back to you. Real Madrid looking to reach the quarterfinals for the 7th straight year. They're obviously 2-1 up now. What do you think their chances are of going into the latter stage of the tournament again this year?
Well, I think they've got a very strong squad and they're one of the standouts to win the competition. History goes against them in the fact that no team has ever retained the Champions League. But if there's any side that is capable of doing it, it is Real Madrid. And you look at Zinedine Zidane, he's managed to keep the entire squad happy, which not many managers can do. It's like it's pretty much, it's very similar to Ancelotti in his way, in his manhandling of the players and gaining the trust of the players and keeping the squad happy, even if they're not going to be playing games. And I think that's very important going into the latter stages of the Champions League, as your bench is just as important as your starting 11.
Zinedine Zidane said before this, he was talking about the attitude and saying that even whether they're drawing or even 2 or 3 goals up, it cannot change our attitude. He said it's important for us to keep the mindset that we've had so far. Would you say that kind of mentality within the squad is important? Is that what's got on so far? It's vital.
And if you look at Real Madrid, the history of the club, it's an attack. They have to go out and win every game, home and away. It's very demanding, and Zidane's coped with that very well. Right now, Madrid are looking in control, trying to get a foot on the ball and slow things down. Napoli are a team who are going to have to go for it and commit bodies forward, and that's going to leave chances for Real Madrid on the counter-attack.
How well have Napoli played then? Because Dries Mertens obviously continued. He's been in fine form this season. He's only 3 goals shy of equalling his career best total for a league season. He's got 18 goals in the Serie A for Napoli, and he's also got, now after tonight, he's got 5 in 8 games in Europe.
Well, yeah, he's been in outstanding form the past few weeks. Napoli started the game very well with a high press and not allowing Madrid to get out. But the thing with when you're playing Real Madrid is when you get your chances, you've got to take your chances, because Madrid will always be a threat down at the other end.
Rory, we come back over to you. Anything much happening?
Well, Javi Martinez just had another chance there from a corner kick and headed. It was a good few yards wide. But before that, then, and what led to the corner, you had. Oh, it's just been another goal. Robin has just put it into the back of the net and raced through literally just as it came back on there. I haven't seen what's happened yet, because it just came to Robin and put it into the back of the net. It looks like from the goal kick that Arsenal have conceded possession. I'm just trying to wait for the replay here. Yeah, it looks like it's gone back to Ospina. He's looked to clear it long, and Robin's intercepted it. Got a quick 1-2 with Lewandowski. Sanchez has tried to get the ball and been unfortunate, and Robin's just curled it with his left foot into the bottom left corner. You can see Arsenal fans leaving now, and it goes from bad to worse. I don't know how it possibly could get worse for Arsenal, but it has got worse. It's unbelievable.
That means Robin has now scored in his last 3 successive matches against Arsenal. Let's go back into the Championship then. Any more goals to report on?
Yeah, actually, QPR just doubled their lead again. It's Idrissa Silla who scored the first goal. It's not really a surprise, because Barnes have lost the last 22 away games to QPR. So, to be honest, an expected result.
All right then. Rory, go back over to you then now. What does that goal mean? Does that mean for Arsenal's season? Is it over if they lose this? Well, I mean they're always looking likely to get knocked out here. But if they're beaten embarrassingly, if they're beaten 3-4-1, which it could quite easily be, they're down to 10 men. What does it mean?
They're down to 10 men as well here, and it's just a barrage of attacks here from Bayern Munich now. That Arsenal really have nothing going for them here. There's actually, from half time, it just seems like more and more fans have left. In the main stand there, opposite the main camera, and it just looks like Arsenal fans have given up. The team have given up as well, and you can really just see Bayern are just got a spring in their step. They're a yard ahead, second balls every single time. They're more committed to the challenge, and it's just Arsenal really just have given up on this game, and once again they're going out in the Champions League in the last 16.
We were talking there with Isaiah about Real Madrid's chances of going on to get to the semi-finals or in the final. What do you think about Bayern this season?
With Bayern, I can see them going pretty far. They're not quite on the same level as they were in previous years. They're scoring plenty of goals, and in the league they've overturned Leipzig obviously, and they've started opening up a gap there again. It was a 7-point gap. Robin's just actually coming off here now. He's probably being rested for the game this weekend again then. And I can see Bayern, you can see them getting to the semi-finals. Whether they're going to be able to challenge with Real Madrid, PSG, I imagine would go through against Barcelona as well. You're wondering what's going to happen. I could see them getting to the semi-final, but beyond that I'm not really sure at the moment with this squad under Ancelotti.
Had a few goals in the Championship. Let's go to Tom Heslop and see if any of those have been at St Andrews. Tom?
Well, as we've just got a free kick at the minute, Craig Gardner, 25 yards out. He's just preparing to step up and take it. Referee's just blown his whistle. Strikes. Oh, it's well over the bar. Blues have been piling people forward. They're just throwing everything at Wigan, but nothing is coming from it. Kieran Fry, since he's come on, has looked fantastic. Wigan sitting back. They're giving away silly fouls all around the edge of the box. David Perkins, the substitute, has picked up his 8th yellow card of the season, and that is the referee's 84th card of this season.
Cheers, Tom. Brad, actually had a few more goals in the Championship. Yes. Very welcome indeed. Where have they been, Brad?
Huddersfield taken the lead against Aston Villa, and it's right back Tommy Smith, who's actually the leading assister for Huddersfield this season for a defender, so pretty good. So he's changed his mind today, had a shot instead. Yeah. Brentford have gone 3-0 up there away at Forest. They're just picking them apart. This time Weber's turned provider, who gives it to Jota, who just slots it away, and he's been impressive since he's come back to the club in January. He now has 7 goals and 4 assists, I think, this match now.
Very good. Very good. Let's go back to the Champions League. Isaiah, Napoli, what's going on?
Well, yeah, we've just seen Ronaldo actually come up against Koulibaly one-on-one, and you think couple of years previously beats him down the line. But he's definitely lost his legs and he's tried to whip in across, but it's gone out for a goal kick. We've seen Lucas Vazquez has come on to replace Bale for Real Madrid. Bale recently returning back from injury, so we would imagine that's just to make sure Bale is eased back in and ready for what is going to be a crucial part of the season. Napoli have replaced Insigne for Milik, and that's pretty much it so far. Charlie.
On the topic of Ronaldo, he's nearing 600 minutes without a goal in the Champions League. It's his longest drought at Real Madrid. You alluded to there, he's 32 now. Do you think, how many more years has he got left at the top level?
Well, I think with Ronaldo, what people have failed to give him credit for is the way he's adapted and changed his game from being a winger who scores goals to coming in the middle and playing almost as a centre forward, and most of his goals are one touch and he's in here and he's forced wide by Reina and it's going to come to nothing. But with Ronaldo, the way he's adapted and has almost become a centre forward, I think he could go on and play for another 2 or 3 seasons at that top level. If it's going to be the same Ronaldo of old, where he's beating players, beating with tricks, I'm not sure. But maybe as a centre forward, I think we'll see Ronaldo in the last 2 or 3 years.
Important to note, of course, that Ronaldo has still scored 25 goals as of tonight in 32 games. He managed a brace in his last game against Las Palmas. That means he's managed 25 plus goals across all competitions in 10 consecutive club seasons, which is mightily impressive. More goals as well in the Football League. Portsmouth have gone 2-0 up away at Crawley. That means that result will lift them back up into the automatic promotion spot, so that's a huge result for them. But let's go back again to Brad. Any more goals, or are we still looking
Not at the minute. Reading Newcastle is still 0-0, and so is Ipswich Wolves. But Newcastle haven't failed to score past Reading since 2007. So I would keep an eye on that one, especially with Newcastle having the best shot to goal ratio in the league.
Yeah, you alluded to there, Dwight Gale is obviously... is he back in the squad tonight?
I believe so.
Yeah, so if he comes on, he scored a lot of goals. It's 21. He's only just behind Chris Wood.
He's only just behind Chris Wood, yeah.
Only just behind Chris Wood. It's an exciting top scorers list this season. Is any chance of Dwight Gale topping that coming into the year?
Quite easily, if he keeps fit, yeah. He's had a few hamstring problems recently, and that's a horrible injury to keep getting niggling at you.
Yeah.
If he keeps fit, he's got a great chance with the service he gets at Newcastle.
As you said, we'll keep an eye on that game then. Back over to Rory. What's going on at the Emirates Stadium?
Well, Arsene Wenger's just gone. I think he's thinking about the game this weekend now. He's just made a triple substitution a few minutes ago there. Ozil, Coquelin and Lucas Perez came on with Aaron Ramsey, Giroud and Sanchez coming off. Just had a quick look at the body language in particular. But Lewandowski's just hit the post. But Lewandowski, unbelievable form here tonight. He really turned around. He 8 passes completed in the first half. In the second half, he's just been incredible. He's getting the ball into feet, he's playing it out wide, and he's getting the returns into the box. But going back to Sanchez, there wasn't even a glance between himself and Wenger. And no matter what you've seen yesterday in the training ground between the two of them, it all seemed fine. The reports that come out, you can only just think that one or at least maybe both of them will be off then before the end of the season.
Well, we'll go back over to the She Believes Cup, where England are facing Germany. They're second of 4 teams in the group stage, and if they win tonight, they'll put pressure on France to win in tonight's later kick-off, and they could actually come out and win the trophy. Jack, any more action since we last came to you?
Well, it had been England dominating the ball for so long in Washington DC, and all of a sudden Germany, almost out of nowhere, Anna Blasser went surging down the right wing with a fantastic run, some nice interlinking play with the midfield, and she put a superb ball into the box for Anja Mittag in the box just about 8 yards away from goal. She's actually Germany's top goal scorer in this current side, and she really should have finished it. She managed to blaze over the bar. England got away with it there. They really need to be doing better if they want any hope of winning this competition.
So we've got just about 10 minutes remaining in the Champions League games. There's still plenty of time in some of the Championship games. We've just had another goal as well in League One. Sheffield United have come from behind. They're now 2-1 up at Oxford United. So they continue their maintain their stranglehold at the top of the table. They are, as going into this weekend, going into tonight, they were 6 points clear, so that will extend their advantage even further. Back to the Champions League. Isaiah, has there been much happening at the Stadio San Paolo?
Well, Maurizio Sarri, the Napoli head coach, has just replaced Hamsik for Zielinski. And I assume they're looking towards the weekend's fixtures now, where they sit third, I believe, in Serie A and 10 points behind Juventus. I think all their eggs will be going into that basket.
Oh, no.
Rory, back over to you. What's going on?
Douglas Costa's added a third substitute off the bench. He's just skipped inside Mustafi. He just looks like he doesn't care. The fans are leaving. Some of the fans that are in the ground are chanting Kroenke out. It's an absolute embarrassment for Arsenal here. They had the ball deep inside Bayern's half and they lose possession. Rafinha, one pass up the line, there's no one there. Douglas Costa just races through, cuts inside and just slots it home past Ospina, and he's waving to the fans. He's enjoying it, and I don't think Arsenal fans are enjoying it. However, it's not
8-2 down on aggregate. I can't imagine they are enjoying it all that much. They just another reminder: if they are to go through, they would need to win 8-3 this evening. So they need 7 goals in 11 minutes plus stoppage time. So I think we can probably safely rule out them now.
I think it is unlikely. Yeah.
Friday, some more goals in the Championship. Is that right, Brad?
Yeah, Bristol City have just equalised against Norwich. Can't tell you the goal scorer as of yet. It's not been confirmed. Just shouted goal, basically.
So Norwich have come down from the Premier League and they've found the bounce back pretty tough this season. They've usually been quite reliable in almost like a yo-yo club, really, going from the Championship to the Premier League and back, vice versa. What's gone wrong for them this season, do you think?
I'm not completely sure, to be honest, because they started extremely well, and I'd argue that they have a great squad for Championship football. I suppose the lack of real goal scorer up front. Cameron Jerome's okay for this level, but they don't have a 20-goal man like Dwight Gale or Chris Wood, and they don't really share the goals around, to be honest with you.
And we'll go back over to Rory because it's now 4-1 to Bayern Munich.
Vidal's just, it's unbelievable. Vidal's just chipped it over Ospina. There was 3 racing through in goal. Arsenal just could not be bothered with this at all anymore. Like a midfielder, Vidal just picks the ball off the Arsenal defence, racing through. He's got a chance. Does he square it? Does he go for the audacious chip? And he's just showing the replay now. Ozil's just not wanting to go for the ball. There's 3 of them, and Vidal just dinks it right over Ospina into the bottom corner. It's a wonderful finish, and 9-2 in aggregate now. It's just, I really don't know what else to say about this. This is utterly embarrassing for Arsenal.
In a wider context, do you think this Arsenal defeat is proof of how far the Premier League has fallen in Europe? We had 6 English finalists between 2005 and 2009, and ever since the quality has dropped quite significantly. You see Spanish teams dominating more and more. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely. Spanish teams are right at the top level now at the moment. You can see that there was an all-German final at Wembley in 2013 between Bayern and Dortmund, but since then you've had the last 11 major European competition trophies have been won by Spanish teams. Spanish teams are cleaning up at the minute. They've got all the world-class players. I don't care what anyone says. Aguero's the one truly world-class player that would get into any team in La Liga. Apart from that, really the English teams have fallen dramatically, and as much as everyone loves the money, the money's actually made the league worse. It really has not helped the game at all, and you can see a real shift in the Premier League in the years to come, where it could become a lesser league. It could become something like the Serie A in the future. You could really see it falling that far in terms of European pedigree.
Let's go back over to St Andrews then. Wigan have won more points away from home than at home this season, and they're currently leading 1-0. Any chance of that scoreline changing, Tom?
At the moment, Charlie, I would have to say no. Birmingham City are trying. They really are, but it's just not coming for them. Lukas Djukovic has tried to make an impact since coming on, but the ball, the service to him, it's awful, Charlie. The style that Birmingham City are trying to play at the minute just isn't working. Gianfranco Zola is down here on the touchline. He's not sat down all game. He's absolutely fuming. Blues just aren't pressing high enough. They're allowing Wigan to pass out from the back. The referee's not helping Matt as he keeps giving away he keeps blowing up for free kicks. The ball he keeps stopping, and Blues have just won themselves a free kick in a dangerous position. Could this one work out? I'm not too sure. You'll have to come back to us and find out.
No problem, Tom. The Latics have won just 1 of 8 games since the end of January, but they're looking on good course to nick another victory there. So we've had a few more goals. Sheffield United are now 3-1 up at Oxford United. Billy Sharp again, he's netted a penalty, and we've had a couple of goals in the Championship, Brad.
Yeah, Barnsley have just cut the deficit now. Tom Bradshaw scored for them. I think it might be a bit late for them to grab a draw. Brighton have also wrapped up the points against Rotherham away. Solly March has scored for them just outside the box. So that's putting the pressure on Newcastle now, but they've got half hour left in their game.
Yeah, of course. And we've also had our first full time of the night in the 7:30 kick-off between Plymouth and Blackpool. Blackpool have taken that one 3-0. We'll go back over to you, Isaiah. We've not heard from you for a few minutes. Any more action since?
We just had a rogue have a shot from distance and it's gone flying over the bar. But I'm going back to what Rory was saying about the top class and the real quality players being at Real Madrid and Barcelona and in Spain. We've just seen Morata come on and replace Benzema, and Isco come on for Modric, and there's some replacements, aren't there?
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Isaiah. So we'll go back to the Moss Rose Ground, where we've got Lewis Richards watching Macclesfield against Dulwich Hamlet. What's happening there then, Lewis?
Hi guys, yes, it's still Macclesfield Town 2, Dulwich Hamlet 0. Visitors definitely pushing on here. They're looking for a goal desperately. Mac has decided just to sit back a little bit now. James Thorne has just come off for Chris Holroyd, who's played a half-decent game, and Ollie Norburn has also come off to replace the energetic Danny Whittaker in midfield. Ollie Norburn's played an absolutely brilliant game today for Macclesfield, but Dulwich have had a few chances here. Starman Ashley Carew has gone close a few times, but there could well be a goal very soon, so come back to me. But at the minute, Macclesfield Town 2, Dulwich and Hamlet now.
We will do just that, Brad. We had some more goals in the Championship.
Yeah, Forest have just scored. It's a young teenager, Brereton. It's not really going to make much difference to the final result, but if you're a betting person, Forest are very good for both teams to score.
No chance of them stealing a point then, no?
Not when they took a Sombalonga off as well, the top goal scorer. I wouldn't say so.
Oh my word, what is going on?
Well, Ben, Rory's got his head in his hands. What's going on?
I really feel for Arsenal here. Unbelievable. It's 5-1 now. Vidal scored again. It's 10-2 on aggregate. This is absolutely humiliating. I'm running out of adjectives to describe this. It really is the worst possible time for this to happen, but it's the same time all the time for Arsenal. You're really looking at it. There's fans with their Wenger out banners now. They're taking selfies in the ground. I'll probably call one of them an idiot and get called on the Arsenal fan TV if I wanted. But it's just a simple pass. Renato Sanchez straight through the defence. Douglas Costa squares it to Vidal. 5-1 on the night, 10-2 in aggregate. Bayern are coasting through here.
So that'll mean that Arsenal have lost 5 of their last 7 in all competitions this season. It really is falling apart at the seams. Let's go back to Brad. Any more that you can tell us? Any more goals? What's happening in Reading Newcastle?
Not a lot, to be honest. Bit of a stalemate. Ipswich Wolves still 0-0, but Wolves have brought on record signing Helder Costa. Some people might be thinking, why is he on the bench anyway? For a game that's really important, judging by other results at the moment. And that's about it, to be honest, in the Championship.
Wolves have got a couple of games in hand over the teams on the relegation zone. Do you think they can pull themselves clear?
You don't really know with Wolves, to be honest. They're a bit Jekyll and Hyde. Some of the team selections recently not been brilliant either. There's a lot of changes all the time, so it's not a very settled team. We've got a midfielder playing left back.
Strangely, obviously, they were excellent in the FA Cup, knocking out Liverpool and Stoke and giving a real good go against Chelsea. Why is it not working out in the league for Paul Lambert?
I'd probably say the injury to Ivan Cavallero for the last 8 weeks has been damaging to them. They've suddenly started playing a lot more direct football since he's been injured, and it really hasn't obviously upturned in the results. But now he's back, I'm hopeful being the key word, that they'll start playing some nice football again and just start getting the results they need. Because going down after a billionaire takeover this season would be a complete disaster. A
point is at least good for them this evening. It stops the rot for temporarily. They lost the last 6 in all competitions. They haven't lost 7 on the bounce since March/April 2012. Do you think this could give them a platform for a better run of form?
I would hope so, a clean sheet especially. They've got Rotherham at home on Saturday, which is absolutely gigantic, because if they don't beat Rotherham at home, then you're not going to give them much chance of staying up if they can't beat the worst team away. They've literally not won one away game all season.
Rotherham won, obviously, of course, just 1 point away from home. 94% of their points have come at home, and they've only claimed, 17 points all season, which is
and Wolves are the worst home team, so...
There we go then. So it could be one of the most boring championship games of the season, but we're not covering it, so it doesn't matter. Let's go back over to Rory. It's 5-1. There's only a few minutes left. A lot of empty seats.
There's a lot of empty seats, but in Sanchez's seat, there's a smile on his face. There's a smile on his face. He was after the 5th goal. Just cut to the replay at him beside Petr Cech, and he's smiling. He's still smiling away now. It looks like he's just really disconnected himself from the group. I wouldn't want to be part of this group, in fairness, as well. They're utterly hopeless. They're 5-1 down. At least they're consistent. They're 5-1 down in 2 games. Well, it's actually 3 games in a row.
3 on the bounce, isn't it now?
The last 3 against Bayern Munich. So they've conceded 15 goals in the last 3 games against Bayern Munich. It really is horrible to watch. They're passing the ball about, but Bayern Munich just want the ball back. Vidal, Sanchez, they're all pressing the ball and winning it back with relative ease, because Arsenal just really do not care one bit.
Sanchez, there's obviously footage of Sanchez smiling on the bench at Liverpool as well, I think it's when they were 2-0 down at the weekend. Yeah. It really does seem that he's going to leave this summer, doesn't it? It
really does look like he's going to leave. The trip to Italy, and the links to Juventus, and there's links to PSG as well. You can definitely see it going to one of 2 clubs in the summer. He's a level above this current Arsenal team. It starts from the top, though, with Kroenke at the very, very top. Is this idea of settling for 4th place and just the last 16 in the Champions League. It's not enough, and Arsenal fans don't know it's not enough as well, but for that to change, there needs to be a complete change from the top at this club currently.
Tom, we'll come back to you at St Andrews. You talked about potentially a goal last time we spoke to you. Anything?
Birmingham City are currently throwing everything at Wigan, but nothing's happening for them. Kerim Fry, Lucas Djukovic, they're both trying to make an impact. It looks as though Gianfranco Zola's going to have one last throw of the dice with just over 5 minutes left. David Davis is coming off now, and Jack McGomer's coming on. It's the first time he's featured for Gianfranco Zola's side, but I don't think he's going to make any difference. He's just come back from injury, and it's going to be a tough one for him to make a full impact with just 5 minutes left and stoppage time.
We've had a stoppage time goal in the Championship, Brad. Where's that been at?
Blackburn. It's Derek Williams, centre half, for the goal, which could be massive long term for them. Especially Cardiff have been in good form as well, so I think they're going to take the point now.
Talking of Cardiff's good form, Kenneth Zohore was on the score sheet earlier. He scored 7 in 8 games. It's a massive turnaround for a player who was effectively a flop, really. Is that the Neil Warnock effect, you think?
He definitely knows how to get the best of players who people probably see as not as technically gifted. Cardiff's squad is very limited, and Neil Warnock does what he does best and gets the best out of limited players, which is why they've had a great surge up the table and are really well clear of trouble. And within their next season, there might be dark horses to go up with his promotion record.
There we have it. It's approaching the full-time whistle in a lot of Championship games now. We've still got 15 minutes left in Reading Newcastle. Do you reckon there's any late goals in store there?
Reading are pretty solid at home, but maybe, judging by the stats, I would say no at the moment.
No.
But you just never know in football.
Not many shots so far.
Newcastle could get a lucky goal again, like Diarme's against Brighton last week. You never know in football.
Back in the Champions League then, Isaiah, we haven't spoke to you for a few minutes. What's the latest?
Well, Isco's come on about 20-odd minutes or so ago, and his magical, his manipulation and his control of the ball is wonderful. It's almost Zidane-esque in the way he's able to control the ball and just do things with the ball and have you thinking, wow, how's he managed that? I mean, about a minute ago his took the ball with his back to goal and managed to turn away from two Napoli players and set Real Madrid on the counter-attack as Real Madrid. And it's 3-1. It looks like that's Morata, yep. Ronaldo was sent through. His shot was parried by the goalkeeper straight into the path of Alvaro Morata. And that's that. 3-1 Real Madrid.
Real Madrid looking good then. They've been unbeaten in their last 11 Champions League matches, and it'd be their longest run without defeat. Well, they're 3-1 up now, so let's just say the game's pretty much over, isn't it? So that'll seal their longest run without defeat in the Champions League or in the European Cup. That's quite impressive. We're at a first full-time in the Championship, Brad.
Decent point for Blackburn, considering all the other results tonight, but it's a bit as you were at the moment with the bottom half of the table. Most of them are draws.
We have had a goal in League One, mind. Charlton Scunthorpe was held back to 8 o'clock because of travel issues around the ground, and Scunthorpe have just pulled one back through Kevin Van Veen. So that's 1-1 at the Valley. Let's go over to Rory. The full-time whistle must surely be any moment now.
Yeah, the full-time whistle has just gone there, and it's finished Bayern Munich 5 and Arsenal 1. There's probably as many stewards in the ground as there is fans in the Arsenal end at this stage. The Bayern Munich fans are absolutely loving it. They've been impressive all game, as they always are. You really look at the expression on Arsene Wenger's face. He's shaking his head as he walked towards Carlo Ancelotti there. It really does look like it's curtains for him and for a lot of this Arsenal squad, because there's going to need to be a major cull in this squad to get it back to where they want to go.
Bayern Munich then the first team to book their place in the quarter-finals of the competition, just getting into the latter minutes of stoppage time in the Championship. But let's go back to Jack Bradley in the She Believes Cup, England. It's not that far away from half-time now. Jack, how are they getting on?
Germany have been the better side ever since the last time you came to me, Charlie. They've actually just hit the bar. It was a fantastic strike from Lena Magul after she was played in by Leonie Meyer. Some nice little football on the edge of the box. She just dropped the ball down for Magul from about 25 yards. She rattled the shot against the crossbar, and really England are quite fortunate to still be at 0-0. They did have a chance themselves shortly after. The ball fell to Tony Duggan on the edge of the Germany penalty area. However, her shot was straight at the keeper. Realistically, she should be doing better with that chance. At the moment, Germany is still the better side. It remains 0-0.
So we've had the full-time whistle in one Champions League game. Isaiah, let's go back to you. Is the game over there?
Well, yeah, it's just finished. Players are walking off the pitch now. Pretty comfortable night for Real Madrid overall, and they'll be into that draw.
So they come from behind to win 3-1, as they did in the first leg as well. Did you know, though, but Sergio Ramos has scored more career goals than Andres Iniesta after tonight? 81-72. That is quite a stat, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Centre-back.
But going to Ramos's, the second goal, Ramos has won the header, but it's gone down as a Dries Mertens' own goal.
Has it?
Yep, so it's just the one goal for Ramos tonight.
Let's go back to the Championship as well. We've had a few more full-time whistles, Brad.
Burton have gained an extremely good point away at Sheffield Wednesday after they thrashed Norwich at the weekend 5-1. Bristol has also finished 1-1. Probably another decent result against a good Norwich side. And Ipswich Wolves is 0-0 too, finished. So the only real winners tonight at the bottom of the table are Wigan. If they can just hold out for a bit longer now against Birmingham, they'd have caught up to the other side and just 2 points available to get out the relegation zone.
And let's go back to St Andrews then, because we can't be far from the full-time whistle there. Tom, what's the latest?
Birmingham City throwing everything at Wigan. Like I said earlier, Thomas Kuszczak kicking the ball up into the box. Nothing's coming. Blues have got about 90 seconds left of the game. And as I mentioned earlier, with the referee giving away all these free kicks, he's had to change his spray canister. That's how many have been given away. Magoma, like I said when he came on, he's done absolutely nothing. Blues continuing to push. Keita on the ball, but nothing's coming from it. I think Wigan may be looking to hold out for just their 5th away win this season.
Brad, let's come back to you. There's a few more goals in the Championship. Where are they at?
Preston literally just scored in the last minute through Tom Burkhausen, and then the referee just literally blowed his whistle straight after.
Final
so they just
final
robbed the point. Yeah.
We've also had one at Nottingham Forest as well. You said there'd be no comeback, but I suppose they still need one more goal.
Just this minute finish.
Has it? There we go then.
I was right.
You were right then, and I was wrong. There we go. Then we've only got 2 more games due to finish now. We've got, and then we've also got the later kick-off as well between Reading and Newcastle, but that's still 0-0.
Last minute goal again.
Another? Where's that at?
Fulham. Leeds have had a red
1-1.
card. Yeah. 1-1. 90 plus 6, that is.
Who was sent off?
Let me just find out for
Any
you.
news? Yeah. Well, it's a big goal, really, isn't it? For it's a damaging one for
Wednesday
Leeds.
have drawed as well.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Well, Huddersfield have made a gap now on Leeds a little bit.
And we'll go back to Lewis Richards, who's watching Macclesfield against Dulwich Hamlet. What's happening there?
Hi guys, yes, final score here, and Macclesfield have reached the semi-finals of the FA Trophy. A solid performance over here at the Moss Rose, 2-0 in the end. First half was absolutely brilliant from John Askey's side. Reece Brown got 2 goals in 2 minutes in the 34th and 36th minute. What brilliant goals they were. I just see the Dulwich fans now congratulating their players now, because what a fight they put, 2 divisions higher, and tell you what, they should be proud of their players tonight. All the way to the quarter-finals and beat the likes of some higher teams and played excellent. But for Macclesfield now, off to the semi-finals, they want to get to Wembley, and just literally 3 games now, 2 legs with the Tranmere Rovers in the next round. So it should be a good few weeks for John Askey's men, as well as the playoff potential. So final score here at the Moss Rose is Macclesfield Town 2, Dulwich Hamlet 0.
Could hear Glad all over in the background there, and I'm sure Macclesfield fans are pretty happy. They're to the final 4 of the competition. They'll face Tranmere at home. Macclesfield won the competition twice, but not since 1996, and now they have a half-decent chance of going on and ending that drought. But let's go back to the Championship. Tom, what's the full-time whistle been blown at Birmingham?
It's full time here at St Andrews, and there was a massive chorus of boos once again from the Birmingham City faithful. There can't have been more than 17,000 here tonight, with about 300 Wigan fans. But it finished Birmingham City 0, Wigan Athletic 1. In the first half, the goal came from former Birmingham City loanee Dan Burn. The ball was whipped in, it was a glancing header. It beat Thomas Kuszczak easily. That is just Wigan's 5th away win this season, and believe it or not, it's actually their 4th clean sheet in those wins. They were superb. They do not look like a side that was second bottom of the league coming into the game. Birmingham City now have only won 2 games in 17 under Gianfranco Zola. The board said when they brought him in that they wanted it to be an upturn in fortunes. Gary Rowett wasn't taking them to the places that they wanted him to take them to. Zola, he's not taking them there either. He's been absolutely awful since he's come in. The results just haven't been there. Performances have slowly started to improve. They're getting there, but it's just not happening for them. Blues just can't seem to find any sort of form under Zola. And the stadium is empty at the minute. There's nobody in here, but it still feels like the boos are ringing around. A miserable night here at St Andrews. Finished Birmingham City 0, Wigan Athletic 1.
Elsewhere in the Championship then, every other game is finished bar Reading Newcastle. Anything more you can tell us about the meaning of those results, Brad?
Fulham have snatched the point, and Sheffield Wednesday drawed, so there's still a slight chance they could catch them.
Yeah?
It was Phillips who was sent off for Leeds, and it was probably the best midfielder in the Championship, Kearney. Thomas Kearney, who saved it for Fulham with a superb curling effort. He's created the most chances this season in the whole division.
Really?
Yeah. Extremely good footballer.
We've also had full time in 2 League One games. Sheffield United won 3-2 away at Oxford, and Walsall, obviously Oxford, we missed that one. Oxford scored in the 92nd minute, but it didn't matter anyway, because as Sheffield United held on to win, and Walsall have beaten Chesterfield 1-0 in League 2. Portsmouth have beaten Crawley 2-0 away from home. So let's go back over to you, Rory, just for a few seconds. Just seeing that footage of Sanchez laughing on the bench.
Yeah. It's not. It doesn't look good to even put this whole tie in general into some kind of context. It's the 2nd biggest aggregate win for a German side against the English side in Europe. since Dortmund did it against Manchester United in 1964, 1965 in the UEFA Cup. They won 10-1 in aggregate. That's just the kind of context to put this game into, or the tie in general. Arsenal are just absolutely awful.
Well, there we have it then. So the final scores. In the Champions League, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid are the first teams into the quarter-finals, but that's it from us in the studio. A massive thanks to our pundits tonight, Rory, Isaiah and Brad. Catch us for our next Newsnight on April the 4th, but until then, don't forget to head to staffslive.co.uk for all your local sports news. Good night.